Hi, Jenny here. Today we are going to make some spring M&M flour pretzels. Let's get started. For this recipe you are just going to need some square pretzels, white candy melts, and pastel M&Ms. Okay, I went ahead and prepped my area, so we're going to use a baking sheet with a piece of parchment paper on it. And then I separated out my colors of M&Ms just because it's easier that way to make the petals when you're ready for that step. You are going to use 6 M&Ms for each flour. We will go ahead and preheat the oven to 225 degrees. So nice and low. The melting chocolates don't take that much heat to have to melt. We'll lay out our pretzels on the cookie sheet. And like I said, you want parchment paper for this one, not wax paper, because it is going to be going in the oven and cooking. When we pull these out of the oven, we will then put the M&Ms on them to shape them like a flower. So you want to do that while the chocolate is warm. If you're doing a few less pretzels on here then more, it'll be easier to be able to get the chocolates on while the chocolate is still soft. So then we are going to put 1 melting chocolate on top of each pretzel. That one's stuck together. And then when doing your flowers, you can do any colors that you want. I just figured it's easier for me to put them out in the bowls. This was 1 bag's worth of M&Ms, so you kind of have an idea then of coming apart. You have an idea of how many M&Ms you have of each color. So you can make the petals all different colors if you wanted to combine them, but oh goodness gracious, a couple of them that are stuck together here. You can also use different colors of the melting chocolates. You can use chocolate if you wanted, depending on the season, the holiday, the reason you want to make these. You can use the different colors, like for Valentine's Day, you could use red melting chocolates and the red M&Ms. Very nice. M&Ms come out with all their different seasonal packaging. So they have the different things, like for 4th of July, they would have those colored M&Ms and stuff like that. So again, you can also use the different melting chocolates of whatever flavor you wanted. I figured for spring, white will be a nice background. So once the oven is preheated, we will go ahead and bake this for 3 minutes. The oven is preheated, so we will go ahead and bake these for that 3 minutes. Three minutes is up. The oven has beeped, so we'll take that out and do it carefully so that your pretzels don't all move around. The chocolate melts do look a little bit shiny. They are not going to sure, I don't need 2 hot pads. There we go. They don't spread out when they're melting. They are just shiny. So we'll go ahead and choose an M&M, put the M&M side down, so you just have the nice plain side up. Squish it down so that spreads out the chocolate a little bit. Choose a color of M&M that you want. And then we're just going to go all around the sides and push these down into the chocolate. Dun, dun, dun. And then we'll just let that sit there and harden, which will go fairly quickly. So we'll just keep going. You can choose different color middles. I suppose let's do that. Let's choose, oh, we'll do that already. You can do all the same if you want all yellow middles. If you want different colors. Sometimes the M's are hard to see on these. They're very faint. Stick my finger in there. I have seen these also made with regular pretzels. So if you can't find the square pretzels, you can use a regular pretzel. And just kind of do the same thing. Just keep putting the M&Ms in and putting the other ones around it. And because they're all pastel, it kind of doesn't matter which color middle you have or the flower petals, because they all look very nice together. So like I said, depending on how many M&Ms of each color you have, like there seem to have been less purple M&Ms than the other. You may want to use those more for middles, or do all the flower parts with that, and then whatever you have left over, then use those as the middles. All right, so I'm going to keep going and finish this up, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, I have all the pretzels made, all the flowers, and it looks like I have enough M&Ms left for like one more batch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while these cool. The flower pretzels are all finished. One bag made of 44 flowers. These spring M&M flower pretzels are all cooled. So here's just two of the cute little ones. But as you saw, it was a very nice, simple, easy, fast recipe to do. Little creation to make with having just the pretzel, the chocolate melt. Like I said, these chocolate melts, it's nice that they have a lower melting temperature so that just those couple minutes in there, and then they're melted enough that you can press the M&Ms in and they stay just fine. They stayed warm enough, melty enough for me to do all the 20 of them. I did another tray with the 24, and by the last 4, the chocolate had kind of hardened and didn't spread out as much. It wasn't as easy to stick the M&Ms in. I also tried doing 2 chocolate melts, because I had a couple of them that stuck together. So I thought, all right, well, I'll do 4 pretzels with those that had the double amount of the white chocolate on there. Those worked out pretty well too. I don't think that they look, extra. There's not too much extra white. Don't cover my face. So I think that amount of whiteness for the white chocolate looks fine also. And it worked better with sticking the M&Ms in there because there was more chocolate to be able to make sure I had those M&Ms in there. I did have one pretzel that I was trying to get the M&Ms and it just wasn't sticking. There wasn't enough chocolate on the one side and the M&M kept falling off, and so I had to try to put it more on an angle. And there too was like, well, all right. The other thing with doing 20 of them, it was nice because there was enough room as I was trying to stick the M&Ms in that I wasn't really hitting the other pretzels. I did at once. I stuck my finger in one of the white chocolate pieces. So I had some chocolate on my finger. So again, to have fewer pretzels on your tray. I know at Christmas time, a lot of times I make the pretzels with I used to do the Candy Kiss and then put the M&M in. And it ended up a couple years ago, I don't know, 5 years ago probably now, that the kisses weren't melting enough in the oven. And I tried all different temperatures. I looked up all the recipes as is anybody else having this problem? And nobody else mentioned it, but it seems that the kiss type thing with the pretzels has gone away and people have been using Rolos. And so then you either do the M&M or you do like a pecan piece or something to make like a turtle. But I thought that was interesting, that the M&M or the kiss formula had to have changed. that it didn't melt as easily, because I used to make those years ago and they worked just fine. The kiss would melt just right, push the M&M in, and because that's all you had to do, I could load up my tray with like 77 of the pretzels and do those. And the chocolate, obviously the kiss didn't melt, all I was doing was pushing an M&M in, so it was quicker, whereas this one you're putting the 6 M&Ms around the side, so it takes a little bit of time. And so again, the 20 per tray is a pretty good amount. The other thing I was finding was, of course at the end here I didn't have any M&Ms left like that to show you, so I made my own. I kind of dropped this morning, I threw it against the counter to make it happen. But if you have like a little chip in your M&M, a little defunct, you can use that part to cover it with the chocolate. So either if you put that as the center of the center M&M and put the ones around it, then you won't see that. So if by chance you have a few M&Ms that are that way, you can still use them. You could eat them too if you wanted to, but depending on how many flowers you need to make, if you do that, or again even having if you're putting these as the M&Ms around, same thing, you can still use that side, that portion that may have the little blemish on it, and put that towards the inside, and that covers that up too. So then you don't see it. So I think these turned out really nice. Make a little tray of them, a little snack for yourselves, or if you want to put them in, you know, some snack baggies and share them or whatever. If you're having a little get together, like Easter's coming up, put them all in a bowl and have it around as a snack for your guests. It looks very pretty. So we got the pastel colors, so nice for spring, for Easter. And as I said, different holidays, you can put different colored M&Ms on there and make different kind of flowers. You know, for Valentine's Day, have red and white flowers, or, you know, at Christmas, red and green, and all that stuff. So let's eat one. Oh, M&Ms. But perfect. Salty the pretzel, sweet of the M&M. So good. M&Ms used to be my candy of choice. I've been for years. That's my thing. Go to the store. We always had M&Ms in the house. So I'd be coming home from work. I was hungry. Grab a handful or two of M&Ms while I'm making dinner. I had to go take the dog for a walk. Same. Come home hungry. Grab a couple handfuls of M&Ms. Go take the dog for a walk. So those are still good. I enjoy them. I like them. They're very tasty. The other thing about this is that being cooked at a low temperature, the cookie tray doesn't stay hot for very long. So you don't have to worry about burning your fingers or hands as you're trying to like maneuver the pretzel around or anything while you're putting the M&Ms in there. Also, if an M&M hits the tray, it doesn't melt really quickly, so you don't have to like hurry up and get it off the tray to, you know, then put it in your little flower. And because of that, then you can also do this with your children. You don't have to worry about them getting burned or anything, and it's probably good for them with a little manual dexterity with their little fingers. They can get those little flower petals in there. That would go well. And you like my earrings? Look at that. I bought these at a craft fair, probably at the Strawberry Festival a couple years ago. I saw those and I thought, oh, I have to have a pair of M&Ms. I'll make some recipe again with M&Ms someday, then I can wear them. So although they're not pastel, I figured, well, I gotta wear them today. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will leave the recipe down below. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever made this type of a snack, be the flowers, or have you made the pretzel snack with the kiss in there, or the Rolo. Let me know that, or any other type of recipe that you've made. Maybe I'll look that up and I can make one of those too. In any case, I am going to go enjoy a few more of my snacks. You guys, keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.